everybody. Good evening. We have a fun show for you tonight. Well, fun is in the eye of the beholder, right? I have a new segment I'm going to try out and the much anticipated return of a crowd favorite. Technologically speaking, I have most of the bugs worked out, but who knows? The Paul Report is coming right up after this little video. All right. Okay. Well, not everything is working as it should, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Let's go back to here. Good evening and welcome to the Paul Report. I am your host, Paul Kravitz. That's my name. And it's been a week. It's been a heck of a week, I got to tell you. Happy belated Easter to everybody. And a lot of things happening in the world, which we'll get to some of them. Speaking for myself, I don't know. I think I'm doing all right these days. I had a bit of an excursion on Saturday. I went to bowl up in Concord, New Hampshire on Saturday morning. And I ended up winning my match 12-2, but it was so much closer than the final score dictated, because how it works is you get 2 points for winning a game, and then you get 4 points for winning overall total pinfall. Now, my opponent, Kristen, is a very good bowler, and each game was won or lost by a matter of, single digits, or at the most, I think she beat me one game. It was probably about 16, 17 pins, I think, something like that. But every other game was relatively close, and at the end, it just that I had more pinfall than her, but it was so much more close. Each game could have went either way, except for the game that she won. That was just, she beat me like I stole something. So hats off to you, Kristen. Great match, a lot of fun. And really, I wish I could emulate the curve of how you throw your ball. It just, I used to throw a curve like that. I had a ball that I used to use. It was like a gold ball. And for some reason, I could just put a spin on that, and it would just fly where I wanted it to go. But I ended up giving those away to someone who was just starting to bowl. So I was like, you know what? I'll pass them on so he could have it. And I don't know if he's still bowling or not. Who knows? Maybe he hawked him for some Coke or something. I don't know. I forget his name. How do you like that? Other news. Saturday night, I went up to Salisbury Beach with the wife, and I took pictures of my daughter and her boyfriend on the beach. We did a whole photo shoot thing, and this is the international symbol for photo shoot. We went there. We took a lot of photos. I think I took about 400 pictures. It was a lot of fun, and she went out to Pinterest and got a bunch of poses and stuff. So it was kind of cool that we just kind of emulated those, and it was fun. And I think the pictures are going to come out well. My daughter, in her need for instant gratification, had me post pictures for her to our internal family digital photo album that I have on Adobe, and she took pictures off there and posted them on Facebook. And they're not finished, like they're not touched up yet at all. So I asked her not to because, quite frankly, it's my work out there. But I'm like, all right, whatever. But I will get out and finish touching those up, the ones that she wants. So we'll see. And then Sunday went to the Red Sox game. Won some tickets from work, and we went out there and we saw them lose like 8-4. But bunch of food, sausages, hot dogs, ice cream, French fries, alcohol, soda. This guy had a drink. You know how long it's been since I've had an actual drink? It's been a while. And it was a vodka seltzer or something thing. I forget what it was called. Sunrise, sunset. Sunrise, sunset. I don't know. I forget. But it was delicious, and it was a delight. And then we had some nosh afterwards. And then we took the train home, and it was fun. It was a fun time. So really enjoyed that. Gonna quickly check in the chat and see who is here. So let's see. Who do we have? Let's see. Let's scroll this puppy up. Oh, I forgot the... let's see. Let's do this, and we'll scroll. Let's see. Can I scroll this down? Yes, I can. All right. There we go. Sorry. We got Ken on the line. We have Andre, and we have Mark. Hello, the three of yous. I know that we're expecting Mary tonight. And hopefully Eddie, her Wonder Twin, will show up. Nicole is here. Yippee! Hello, Nicole. Thanks for joining. Couple of first-timers here today. So normally what I do is I ask a first-timer a question, and they can typically type their response into the chat. If you were in control of this show, what type of subject matter would you like to see discussed on this show? Just throw your answer in the chat, and that goes for anybody. John's here. Love John. John's a good man. John is a firefighter, so I thank him for fighting fires, and he was also, I believe he was in the service, so thank you for your service, sir. And for anyone else who might have been in the service that I don't know about, thank you for your service. Let me go ahead and take this off the screen for a moment. So I wanted to briefly talk about our dearly departed Pope. And because I learned some things about the Pope that I probably knew when he became the Pope 12 years ago, but I probably forgot about it. Now, I am not Catholic. I do not subscribe, but I still find it, in a way, fascinating, the whole entity of the Pope. And what I really found fascinating was the process of how they handle when the Pope passes away. But Pope Francis did die early Monday morning, local time, to Rome. The pontiff had been in poor health for some time. He did suffer a stroke, followed by irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. That just sounds awful. He was last seen in public just the day before on Easter Sunday. He wasn't able to speak, but he did show himself to the crowd, and he had someone else read off what he was going to read off if he was well enough. So that was the last time he was seen, and the Pope was 88 years old. So I learned today, or either was reminded today, that he was the first Latin American Pope. And to me, that's, I don't know, it always seems like, in my worldview, that the Pope would always be Italian. I don't know why. It's not like I had anyone tell me that. It just was this internal thing that I always thought that the Pope had to be Italian. But I mean, there was a German Pope. I believe Pope Benedict was a German Pope. And everything else. So Pope John Paul II was Polish. So again, this mindset of mine just, it kind of ebbs and flows. But, to find out he was the first Latin American Pope is kind of cool. He's from Argentina. Now, I learned that in 1957, when he was in his early 20s, his baptismal name was George Mario Bergoglio. And he underwent a surgery in Argentina to remove a portion of his lung that had been affected by a severe respiratory infection. So throughout his life, he was prone to respiratory illnesses for his entire life. Now, he served as the 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, and he was Pope, as I said before, for 12 years. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem like a long time, because I know Pope John Paul II was Pope for many, many years, where Pope John Paul I was Pope for like 33 days before he passed. Now, when the Pope dies, the first person to be notified is the Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church, which is a cardinal, but he also has important managerial duties as he oversees the Vatican property and revenue. He's also responsible for the formal determination of death. So what he does is that he stands over the Pope's body and calls his baptismal name 3 times. It's a good... Now, nope. I'm going to keep this one straight. If there is no response, the Pope is officially pronounced dead. The Vatican does not allow autopsy or a post-mortem to be performed. Now, the death certificate is written, and then the Camerlengo will seal the papal apartments. It's done. It used to be done. This I found amazing. It used to be done to prevent looting by the cardinals. Does that sound weird to anybody else? That the cardinals would loot the Pope's apartment after he passes away. But nowadays it's done just to secure the Pope's will. Now the Camerlengo then takes off the papal ring. The ring is called the Ring of the Fisherman or the Piscatory Ring. The Camerlengo cuts the ring with a pair of shears. Now this is done, which is witnessed by other cardinals, and the cutting of the ring symbolizes the end of the Pope's authority and also to prevent document forgery, because the Pope uses his signet ring to sign documents. Now, after all this, it's time for the Camerlengo to tell the world of his passing. They tell a bunch of people in the church, and then they tell 2 friends, and so on and so on. Now, the funeral has to take place between the 4th and 6th day after the Pope has died. And the Pope gets to plan his own funeral. He gets to write up his plans before he passes. I think that's kind of cool in a sense. And the process of electing a new Pope starts 15 days. Now, whether the Pope retires or whether the Pope dies, it is always done at 15. Oh, I'm sorry. It's always done in the same way. I meant to check before I wrote all this up if when Pope Benedict retired, if they waited the 15 days to start the electoral process or if they did it right away. I'm not sure. But this process is a conclave. And this is their electoral process. So the cardinals are locked into the Sistine Chapel. They have no access to the outside world because they don't want to avoid any influence from the outside world. And all the cardinals must be, to vote, they need to be under the age of 80. What I also found kind of odd is that even excommunicated cardinals can vote within the conclave. So on the first day, the cardinals will take a vote, and for a cardinal to become the Pope, he must get a 2/3 share of the vote. So after each vote, the ballots are counted, and then all the ballots are burnt along with any notes that were taken. Now, this vote happens every day until a new pope is elected. And for each day no pope gets the 2/3 vote, black smoke will rise. And when a pope is elected, the white smoke will rise to let the public know. I think this process is pretty fascinating, if you ask me. And no one did, but I'm telling you, it's pretty fascinating. So, the Pope reminds me of a song by Prince, but again, I'm going to keep this one straight. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Dan Capello came in. Dan, thank you. Thank you. I hope it's nice and warm in Cali where you are. And Brian, the newly shaven Brian Cooper. Brian, I can't tell you how impressed I was with that growth on your face. I know I mentioned it last week, but it was worth mentioning again. It just impressed me to the size, the girth, the coloring, the way that you could slide on a floor and broom it all at the same time, sweep it. So, and Ken, just let me know, I'm just going to put this on the screen, that the conclave elected Pope Francis 12 days after Benedict retired. So they did not have to wait the 15 days, but it did take them 12 days of voting to elect Pope Francis. So thank you, Ken, for looking that up for me. Excellent. I don't think he looked homeless. That's the thing. I think he looked like a rugged mountain man a la Darren Haggerty of, what the hell was the name of that show? Why can't I think of the name of that show? Somebody tell me the name of that show. Brian, I know you know. It was Dan Haggerty in something about the grizzly bear. Grizzly Adams. There we go. Grizzly Adams was his name. And he had a bear named Ben. That's right. There we go. Grizzly Adams. Excellent. There's a little bit of a delay. I'm not sure how long the delay is today, but man, I remember watching that show and just loving it all the time. And that bear, I'm not sure why that bear didn't just rip Grizzly Adams apart every week, but was always bossing him around. Ben, go do this. Ben, go wash the dishes. Ben, go do this. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Well, I think it is time for, let's see, what should we do tonight? We have so much to do. I don't know. Let's do a quick health update. It'll be real quick, I promise. All right, the Paul Report Health Update is brought to you by diabetes and hypothyroidism. You know what? I feel great. Nothing went on this week. I feel good. All right, excellent. So I have a choice for you all. We can either do snack time now, which is one of the fun part of this show where we all can get to nosh on a snack together. Phyllis is here. Yippee! Phyllis, I don't know if you've ever been on the show before, so thank you for coming on the show. So we can either do snack time, which I have my snack prepared, and hopefully you do too. If not, you could scurry away and go grab a snack. Or, it was a little lackluster. Phyllis, you're here. What's the deal with Phyllis being on the show? All right, how's that? What's the deal with Phyllis? She's here, but she's not here. I don't know. I don't feel... Actually, my throat is a little bit weird today, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Phyllis, you got what you got. You get what you get. You don't get upset. All right, there you go. So we can either do snack time, or we can play a game. You guys, I know there's a little bit of a delay, but let me know in the chat. Do you want to do snack time, or do you want to play a game? Please let me know in the chat. Snack or game? Y'all let me know what you want to do. Food and a game. Well, I guess we could do snack time while we play a game. I suppose we could do that. All right, do I have a snack time? I do have a snack time thing. So, all right, let's quickly run into snack time. It's snack time on the Bar Report. Woohoo! All right. My kids are about to get eaten by a T-Rex there. All right. Deuce! What's going on, man? Good to see you. Stu is here. Stu, did you run yesterday? Let me know. I didn't see anything on the Book of Face, so I wasn't sure if you ran yesterday. But Stu has run the marathon many times, and again, I love it that people can still impress me in this day and age. Oh, Sarah's here. I didn't even see Sarah here. Hello, Sarah. We're gonna do snack time, so let me quickly get out my snack. So today I have a Nutrigrain bar. Oh, I just dropped it. So let me open this up real quick. All right, there we go. Oh, excellent, you did volunteer. Awesome. Love to hear it. All right, well, I'll tell you what. You guys asked for a game, so let's play a game. Oh, look at that. It's Hangman. Hangman is back. I know I don't have any music or anything to play with it. Maybe I could do a sound. Let's see. Will this play? Let's see. Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. Oh, this is the most annoying sound in the world. Oh, my goodness. All right, so I thought of a word yesterday, and I'm going to put the letters in here. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6-letter word. I'm not taking any letters yet. I am not taking letters yet. Okay? The hint is a process. I don't know if it's a good hint, but it's a hint. So now, may the lettering begin. Ken, 7. That doesn't work. Ken is my first entry because both Dan and Sarah entered it before I put in. So, is 7 your guess? No, it's not 7. But I'm not going to count that guess. So, 6-letter word. A T. There is a T. I know my hand is a little shaky. O. There is no O. Okay. Jen with an A. There is no A. Let's make a body. Okay. Let's see. A. N. There is no N, Stu. We'll put an arm on here. Let's see. We have an R. There is no R. My God, what's wrong with you peoples? There's an R. Okay, what do we have? We have an S from Dan. There is an S. There is another S. Okay. Where are we? My goodness. All right, we got two S's. We have an E. Okay, let's see. Nicole has a U. There is no U. There's a leg. Let's see. Nicole. Stu gives us up. No. Andre with a D. There is no D. We'll put on little fingers. All right. Let's see. Andre D. H. There is no H. Wrong guess. No sister. I. No I. Ken comes up with the word system. Ken wins the game. Jen also came up with system before I wrote it in, but Ken, you are the winner. I look like I stroked out during that game. Oh my goodness. All right. Alrighty, let's take this off. Let's take this off. Do you want to play another game? Do you want to play another game of Hangman real quick? Since that one didn't take so long. You want to play another game? We could play another game. I just gotta find another word. Let's see. I'll make it a short word so we can get through it pretty quickly. All right, it'll be a short word. Okay. 4-letter word. A hint is oh, I'm on a race. Okay. The hint is don't do it. Okay? All right, let the game begin. 4-letter word. Don't do it. All right. Phyllis, I'm not sure where your head's at, but we need letters, kids. All right. Let's see. Sarah has an E. Okay. Brian has an F. There is no F. All right. N. There is no N. W. There is no W. It's not stop. It is not stop. Is there an H? There is no H. Another leg. Okay. There is no H. All right, here we go. T. There is no T. Therefore, it is not hate, but you shouldn't hate anyway. All right. H. No H. No Y. H and Y. H. Where's my H? Oh, someone already guessed H. And no Y. Okay. So we got... Now, I'll do fingers and eyes and stuff. C. There is no C. Do an I right there. No A. No A. We'll put another I in there. Let's make that I. It's not Nike. There is a P. All right, think about it, people. Think about it. Don't do the Pope. It is Ken with the win again. It was dope. The hint, don't do it, comes from White Lines by Grandmaster Flash. Don't do it. I know it's White Lines, don't do it, but White Lines is dope. You don't do dope. Janice, how can you come up with hope saying don't do it? Don't do hope. Ah! Okay. And welcome, Janice, to the show. I didn't even see. Who is this Ken? Ken was the former owner of... He was the only owner of a Samurai Suzuki? A Suzuki Samurai. Suzuki Samurai. He was the one guy in all of the world that actually had a Samurai. And cool ride. Anyway, well, that was fun. I didn't even get to have a bite of my snack. So everyone, take a bite of your snack and enjoy. Oh, this is so good. Yes. All right. It's only 8:30. So, do we want to have one more game of Hangman to see if anyone can unseat Ken as the king of Hangman? Or do we want to just leave it at that and let Ken ride off into the sunset? What do we think? Tell me what you think, people, because I'm not going to force it on you. Because I have other things to talk about, but I am happy to play the game because we haven't done it in forever. So I figured if we wanted to get 2 or 3 games in, we could. So let's see. Yeah, that Samurai did rule Maplewood. It did. All right. My wife says one more. So, happy wife, happy life, kids. All right, let me find a word because, I don't usually keep these words handy. Let's see. All right, we can use this one. All right. Here it is. Oh, actually, you know what I'll do? Hold on a second. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. And that way I could put the lettering in and not let you people see what I'm putting in. And I'm still on erase. All right, here we go. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Do you like it? Do you like it like that? All right. It's a lousy clue, I think, but I couldn't think of anything faster. Okay. Mary's here. Woohoo! All righty. Mary, we're on our 3rd game of Hangman. So we got one in just for you because I knew you're a Hangman master. Plus, Ken has won both games. I'm looking at the chat like I should be talking to the chat, but I got to look at you guys because you are my audience, not over there. All right. I didn't realize I was doing that. All right. Here we go. All right. The hint is space. It's a 6-letter word. Let the guessing begin. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. So what do we got here? We have an L, a P, and an S. L, P, and S. All right, here we go. L, P, S, A, and L. We already guessed an L. All right, so A. And we already guessed the L, but I won't penalize you because we love you, Mary. All right. I should just move this over here, shouldn't I? That way I can read it while I'm looking into the camera. There we go. All right. What is that? We have 2 E's, an I, and an N. 2 E's, an I, and an N, was it? Yes, it was. All right. 2 E's, an I, and an N. All right. 2 E's, an I, and an N. Okay. I said I. 2 E's and I. Oh. Andre pulls out the win. The word is launch. Excellent job, Andre. Excellent. You named that tune in 2 notes. Good job, everyone. Love it. Love it. All righty. Woohoo! Just for that, I don't know which one is which, but...
Hi, I'm...
Nope.
You're listening to the Paul Report, and that's on you.
That's my good friend Andre. That's on you. All righty. Well, Ken is still our reigning champion, and Andre comes in second. Everyone else, you get the participation trophy. All right, let's put all this back together. Now, let's erase all this. And oh, that was the old one. Oh, is this like... Oh, I'm just making... You know what? I think I just made a bunch of... Oh, here we go. Oops. Oh, man. That ain't right. That ain't right. Let's try this. Let's see. All right, let's do a ball pen. Is that... Oh, there we go. I was trying to write thank you, but it wasn't coming through. But anyway, here we go. Thank you. All right. Excellent. Let's go back. All right. Everyone, thank you. That was a lot of fun. Much more fun than I thought it was going to be just by playing one game. But we did 3. See, Sarah doesn't trust me. She thinks I'm always out to trick her. And, you know what? I think it would be funny if I could do it, but I don't think I can. If I could, I would. But I don't know where it is. No, I'm not. All right. So, sorry, I'm just finishing up my snack time. You know what? I'm going to drink water now. I'm not going to drink another soda. All right. So, I have a new feature that I want to try out. And it's... All right, Janice, take care. What about your sister-in-law? Say bye to your sister-in-law. Well, let's see what Ken. We used to play hacky sack there a lot. Just so people can see what we were talking about. Ken used to work at a Sunnyhurst Farms down in Maplewood Square in Malden. And I remember we were Well, Ken was working. I was there with a few other people, I think. I think there were a few other people there. But we always used to have, a hacky sack and kind of goof around. I sucked at it, but at least I tried. And I seem to remember you getting fired that day, like he told you to go home. And I felt kind of bad. But I think it led to bigger and better things in your life. I'm hoping it led to bigger and better things in your life. Oh, man. All right. So my next segment can be a little polarizing, okay? Ken, who seems to be the all-star today, he planted a seed in my head, a nugget of something, and I thought, you know what? I want to explore this a little bit, but I don't want it to get heavy. I want to keep it kind of even-keeled, open, open dialogue, but I'm trying to bring down any hate speech and talk on what's the best word? On a civil level, okay? Disagreement is fine. I have no problem with disagreement, okay? Everyone, this is all opinion radio at this point, okay? Opinion radio, unless you can produce a link to something. That's right. You know what? With my throat the way it is, I can't do the harmonica for He's Not Heavy, He's My Brother. So anyway, here is my intro for this new segment. I just worked on this today, so at least let me know how the intro is. To my camera after that finishes. Okay, so that's my intro. The segment is called Politics. Not politics, but politics. See, Ken? You said it, and I ran with it. And I created an intro for it, and it was a bitch to make, I have to admit. It was kind of a bitch to make, but there it is. So, I have just one thing in mind for this week. And again, everyone on Facebook over the weekend knows exactly where I stand. Because I had two posts this weekend where the first one I didn't think through all the way because I angered a few people who I didn't want to anger. And I angered a few people I wanted to anger. The basic gist of my post was I'm actually finding it hard to remember the first post. Oh, just reading and seeing all the things that are happening, going on with the current administration. The battle against trans people, the firing of federal employees, veterans. It's not even the tariffs. I don't give a shit about the tariffs, to be quite honest with you. But it's all of the things that are happening to flood the media with stuff going on. And it just makes me irritated that people defend these actions. Now, I understand. Now, this is where I went wrong. So I admit when I'm wrong, is that I didn't specify certain things in my message. But really, what I am so upset about with this current administration is the smokescreen that's going on while there's a power grab for all things in this country. Steps have been taken to gain control of, in the executive branch, gain control of the FCC, what we see on TV, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commissions. Just these three alone, getting the executive branch getting control of that is very dangerous because the checks and balances are not there. Now, again, we all have our thoughts on this, and I'm not going to look at anybody and say, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, you're right. It's just my feeling on this whole scenario is that there's so much going on. All the peripheral stuff is there to smokescreen all the important stuff going on. And all I'm asking is for people to be aware of the hidden things that are happening. Whether you're a fan of the administration or you're against the administration, you got to look beyond the peripheral stuff, the tariffs, I don't know, there's so many other things. My head is flooded and I'm like trying to force 10 pounds of crap out of a 2-pound bag and it just ain't happening. But it's just, we got to be on the lookout just for the little signs. And hopefully, it never happens. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there is no power grab. I hope there is no removal of the checks and balances that are in place. I hope it's all just a big misunderstanding and everything in this country can get better. If he makes this country better, I'll be the first to say, okay, great, we're better off. But what I'm hoping is that if things get worse and they continue to get worse and they continue to get worse, perhaps the base might be able to be honest and say, you know what? He failed. He failed and we need somebody new. That's all I'm kind of looking for, is that type of accountability. That's what I'm hoping for. The audacity of hope that, this would happen. Because the alternative is unthinkable. Because it's not even about us, most of the people in this chat, sans one person. It's about that one person in the chat, namely Sarah, Joel, anyone's kids. It's all about the kids right now. The generations coming up. Our time is done. We had our time. We had our 80s and 90s. We were good. But I really feel like we need to start thinking for our children and their children's children and so forth and so on. Because what we're doing to them, let me restate that because I want to be clear. What is possibly happening in our times now is dangerous for them, okay? it's very dangerous for them because, you know, 30, 40 years ago, there wasn't the, the openness of the gay community, the trans community, all the other, and quite honestly, the hate groups and things like that, they were all hidden away. They weren't allowed to come out. But now they're all out. They're all out in the open. Now, granted, we could do with less hate groups, okay? Whatever that is determined to be. There are classic hate groups. There are new hate groups coming up all the time. The world could use less hate. But as far as the gay community, the trans community, the non-binary community, all of those things, time passes. So where it used to be, difficult for gay people to be seen in the spotlight, hopefully we'll reach a point where it's no longer, dangerous or rough for people of trans or non-binary to be seen in the spotlight, to be open in who they are. Okay? Do I believe that people can identify as a cat and want to be treated differently? No, I think that's quite stupid. Okay, to be honest with you. I think anyone who wants to, make a big deal that they can't be seen as a cat, that's going far beyond the point of what is in the span of reality. Okay? But, trans people in sports, there's a big, wide open area here that we need to work on in that. And for the number of trans people, kids, athletes, whatever, who are in this realm is so small that it doesn't warrant the amount of attention it's getting. And the reason it's getting all that attention, my opinion, is this whole smokescreen thing, okay? Let's throw trans, hate and all this into the mix, throw it into the media cycle, whilst the administration takes control of another watchdog group and they fire everybody. Now there's no watchdog watching whatever they were supposed to be watching. So now the executive branch can now do what they want in a certain arena. This is what I'm worried about. This is the power grab. I really have laser focused my concerns on that. I believe that we can figure out most other things, but if you let one person get all the power, we're back in 1931 to 1945. And I don't think our country can really, I don't think we can handle something like that. I don't think we're built like that. But again, once one group gets all the power, they control everything. So we got to be careful. So that is my politic of this politic. As I figured, I lost a shit ton of viewers during that segment. And quite frankly, I anticipated that. And that's okay. I wish more people stuck around to hear what I was saying, because I'm not trying to, I guess I'm in a point of no longer coming down, beating down on MAGA as a whole. What I'm concerned about is the power grab. Now, there are people who on Facebook will kind of take the road of, you need help, you need therapy, meaning me. You're listening to what your leaders tell you to do and you're saying what they want to say. But it's not, because my wife can attest to the fact that I rarely watch news. Rarely. And I will put CNN on every once in a while. I've actually sat and watched Fox just to hear what they're talking about. But I typically do most of my news on a couple of different sites. One is BBC News, and the other one is Reuters. Okay? Now, there are a couple other ones that are kind of center, and I do a couple that are left-leaning or skew left and skew right. Those are the ones that I look at, and I kind of give credence to everything in that particular realm. Is skew left, skew right. Why do I watch it? I watch Fox to see what they're saying or to hear what they're saying, because I want to know what the opposition is saying or what they're saying specifically. Because to understand an opponent, you got to understand what they're talking about and what, in my eyes, what silliness they're talking about. I want to see if anything jives up. I want to see if what they're saying can be proven by these middle-of-the-road sites. Now, you will have your extreme folks saying you can't trust any media. And to this day, I've asked several people on the conservative side as to say, where do you get your news from if you can't trust media? And I've never gotten an answer. And I find that to be kind of interesting, that I've never gotten an answer from someone as to where they get their news when they call CNN, MSNBC, all of them fake news and everything. But when I say, do you get your news from Fox? They're like, no, I get it. They don't say where they're getting it from. I don't know if there's a pool somewhere that they go to look for enlightenment. The thoughtful kid by a well. And that's where the news comes from. I don't know. I really don't know. But I want to foster better communication. Now, I stand by both of my posts from this weekend. There was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of back and forth. There was some name calling. There was some witty comebacks. There was some comebacks that I gave just to tell people that I'm not putting up with their crap. Ken, I won't say his last name, but Ken is one who he's one of the people who I did my posts for because I just wanted to just see where he goes with it. And then especially on the Easter post where Trump went off on the left in an anger-filled Easter post, and where Ken said that it sounds about right to him. Now, Ken early in the day had a he is risen, okay, in the morning, and he thinks that what Trump said was perfectly okay to say. Now, you're right. First Amendment gives you the right to say what you want to say. But it seems like when we have this back and forth, they tend to go very angry and saying that we're crazy and we're wrong and we're never right. And again, that's their opinion. But as said before, that things could happen where something is proven wrong, and it's like they never can just say, I was wrong about that. Doesn't mean they were wrong about everything. I was wrong about that. It's like they're in for a penny, they're in for a pound, and that's part of the problem. At least, again, my opinion. So I'll end with the notion that we need to open up lines of communication with others. Now, those others can be those who think like you and those who don't think like you. We need to calm down the hostility. Now, I keep hearing from the folks on the right that the left is, attacking the right, like physically, like shooting at and killing and it seems like they always have an answer for the violence, that it's always the left perpetrating the violence. And it just seems like there are knuckleheads, and I think I put this into one of my responses, but there are knuckleheads on every walk of life. Democrat, Republican, far right, far left, somewhere in the middle of far right and middle or whatever. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is opinionated. It just, in my view, where I've dealt with people like Ken, it just seems like if we don't agree with them, then it's just all wrong. It's like it's my problem. Like I need to have a come to Jesus moment because I don't believe in what they say. Or like, yeah. And Phyllis hit it on the head too. Everything comes back to Biden or the Clintons or Epstein's Island or Hunter Biden's laptop. There's always something to go back to look at. And I mean, the far right is reactionary. So they always want to go back. They don't want to look forward. They're going back, and that's all they really do is go back. And they can't look forward. And they say, oh, the tariffs work back in the Holly Smoot tariffs. DOO economics, voodoo economics. It's tough to talk to them, but we have to find a way to bridge a gap. The problem I foresee is that they may not be open to it. The folks on the right may not be open to it because they see us as an enemy. And I'm starting to see them as misguided, lied to, feeling like they couldn't get anything else from anybody. And they had this guy appeal to their sense of wanting to belong to something. And someone allegedly was listening to them. Brainwashed is a good word. Again, Trump has been calling people names for years. It is Nancy Pelosi, who I call Nancy. Okay, that's the one time he actually called a person by their name. All the other times, it's just dumb. So we need to just find like a common agreement, a common ground. That's right, Andre. We need to find some commonality. And we just got to hope. We got to hope that the folks who aren't necessarily the base but voted for Trump because of the economy will see their way clear and start a conversation with those of us who, voted for Kamala and saw the danger coming. And then hopefully by the midterms, we can turn some things around. And then hopefully it's not too late. If the power grab hasn't happened or has been prevented, then we can move forward in this country. But it's all about the kids, man. It's all about my kids in general, the generation coming up, the young parents. It's all about them now because our time is done. We'll be out of here in 20, 30 years. I feel I'll be out of here in 20, 30 years. But we just need to bridge the gap. And that is the end of politics, as I see it. So, you're right, Phyllis. That is the hope. That is the hope. To hopefully things, if anything is done, that it can be undone. That is the hope. All right, everyone. We went over by about 6 minutes, but I really think it was a good conversation. It was fun with the hangman and talking about the Pope. Um, but like I said, I knew that a lot of people would disappear when I started talking about politics or politics. But that's okay because this will be up on YouTube for as long as it can be. If you haven't subscribed to the Paul Report, please do so on YouTube because once I get to 100, I believe I can get a steady domain thing or a steady something. So hopefully we can do that. Yeah, so thanks everyone for showing up. And we will see you. Let me see the date next week. Sorry. I got to see the date next week so I can let you know if I'm going to do a show. Let's see. Come on. Hold on. Here we go. The date next week is April 29th. Does that date mean anything to me? I don't know. I'm hoping that we'll do a show next week. I'll post something if we will. Oh, don't knock on Mark's show. He's consistently doing a show every week, and he can get guests like anybody. I admit, maybe Hangman is a better game, but I don't know. Brian, thank you so much for sticking around. I do appreciate it. We should get together at some point and just hang, go get a juicy Pepsi or something, and talk old times or new times. Let's look forward. All right. Thank you again, everybody. The list is too long for me to mention everybody who's here tonight, so I'm going to thank everybody and say, yo. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, you can't say it because he is your brother. And he's my brother, too, actually. Take care. Be well. Do not fall victim to anyone who makes you feel any less than you are. You are you, and that's all good. So take care, be well, and we'll see you next week, I think. Let's see. Do I have a closing thing here? I think I do. All right. See ya.